Y'all see these empty AI cars crashing out through this neighborhood?
What is this?
It's Marilyn's hair. 5 Italian tourists died scuba diving in an underwater cave in the Maldives.
Big up to this guy, whoever he is, who just confronted the astronaut.
Do you ever get the feeling things are getting stranger out there? I'm your host Deciphra, and tonight we're decoding all things dark and twisted that the internet has to offer. Get comfortable and enjoy.
Okay, we got 4 parachutes. We got 4 parachutes. Oh shit. There's 4 parachutes. They're okay. They're okay. They all ejected. They all ejected.
Yeah, that's crazy. In that moment, all the training, all the experience, it comes down to seconds and sheer luck.
This company just raised $60 million to spray a secret particle into the Earth's atmosphere so that they can dim the sun and cool the planet. And there's no country that has a law to stop them from doing it. Their plan is to fly airplanes 11 miles into the Earth's atmosphere and then spray particles that bounce sunlight back into space before it reaches the ground, kind of like what a volcano does whenever it erupts. The particle that they want to use is so secret that nobody outside of the company actually knows what it is. They just say that it's safe. So it's like the Krabby Patty secret formula. Outdoor testing was supposed to start last month, and the full plan is 100 airplanes spraying this into the sky non-stop by 2030, which is only 4 years away. They're saying that the particles do not stay up in the atmosphere though, because they fall back down within just a few years. This means that once you start dimming the sun, you can literally never stop. If they were to do it and then they were to stop, scientists are saying that the temperatures could spike back up even faster than climate change itself. Models of all of this happening are currently showing that it could cause droughts in Africa, stronger hurricanes, and weather changes that affect billions of people. Guys, what do you think about this?
The fact that private companies are now playing with the Earth's atmosphere should pretty much concern everyone here now.
This wildfire exploding outside Miami, already burning more than 11,000 acres. Firefighters airdropping water over towering plumes of smoke that can be seen for miles.
This is the fire, and this is in the direction of my house.
The blaze fueled by dry grass in Florida's lush Everglades. The flames even visible from outer space. The brush fire broke out Sunday, with the wind blowing mostly northwest away from population centers. So far, no injuries have been reported. But the wildfire has threatened some homes, including Roxanne Gills. She says the fire was blocking the road.
The only way to leave was to take an airboat.
And tonight, authorities urging residents near the smoke to stay indoors.
Even healthy individuals may experience eye irritation, coughing, sore throat.
And you can see off in the distance some smoke. That is where a lot of the firefighters' efforts have been. We've seen multiple fire vehicles rushing in there throughout the afternoon, a helicopter dropping buckets of water over that area as this fire continues making its way, thankfully, away from population centers. And authorities have said that this blaze is 50% contained.
Yeah, because apparently hurricanes, sinkholes, and alligators weren't enough. Now we're adding apocalyptic fire season too.
Cut the chat! Y'all see these empty AI cars crashing out through this neighborhood? People keep dismissing how unsafe this could really be. Imagine when these things are everywhere. What happens when they start malfunctioning in traffic, or near schools, or around people just walking outside? Say I'm overreacting, but look at that. That's giving me Leave the World Behind vibes. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think people realize how crazy it's going to be once these things become normal everyday life. Cut the cap.
Imagine being a passenger in one of those empty AI cars when it decides to crash into another. No one behind the wheel, no one to blame. I mean, do you stay calm and stay seated, or do you panic and try to escape?
Everyone needs to hear about the Disney cruise ship situation because it's being buried thanks to another cruise ship. So 27 employees of various different Disney cruise lines were somehow involved in CP. Basically, investigators had some knowledge that these crew members might be involved in CP in some way. They pulled aside to interview 28 different crew members from this cruise, and only one of them were determined to not have involvement in CP and were let go. Now, these crew members were not from the US and they were deported to their home countries, 26 of which were from the Philippines. Now, at least 10 of the people detained were directly employed by Disney Cruise Lines. Now, we don't exactly know which Disney Cruise Line ships were involved, but we do know that one ship was the Disney Magic. Now, since this happened, a lot of people are asking if this CP might involve any passengers on the Disney Cruise Lines. Since these cruises are catered towards a younger demographic, that is a very disturbing and valid question. But I don't know if we're ever going to get answers regarding that specific question. All we know is that what has been described as a trove of CP was discovered, and that the employees that were arrested have some level of involvement with that trove of CP.
So behind the characters, the fireworks, the so-called magic, something really dark was taking place on that cruise ship. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is the insurance company is going to need therapy after seeing this one.
This is absolutely insane. This is what's just been released by Unitree Robotics. It's a 500 kilogram, half a ton mechanical suit. It can walk around by itself, or obviously you can jump in and pilot the thing. It's 4.5 meters tall, nearly standing at a 2-story building level. It will sell to the open public, so you can go and buy one of these if you want to. I think it's going to be about $500,000, so it's a big investment. They say it's likely just for personal use, but there's already loads of industries interested in this and working in factories where you have one worker who's able to do a massive work by themselves. It can smash its way through solid concrete walls, and it can go down on all 4 legs and walk like a spider. Absolutely terrifying. I mean, if you suddenly decided that you wanted to be a supervillain, you could easily make this happen. You could become a Transformer supervillain if you choose to.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think we're watching the early stages of machines that could soon outmatch humans in both strength and agility.
Archaeological discoveries that prove history is being hidden from us. 1. The Antikythera mechanism was pulled from a shipwreck and is over 2,000 years old. It's a complex analog computer used to track the stars, but the technology inside shouldn't have existed for another 1,500 years. 2. In a cave in China, scientists found a series of iron pipes embedded deep into the mountain rock. They lead to a saltwater lake nearby, but the pipes are estimated to be 150,000 years old, long before humans even knew how to work with metal. 3. The Sajama lines in Bolivia are a network of perfectly straight paths carved into the earth that cover 8,000 square miles. They are thousands of years old, and from the ground, they look like nothing, but from the air, they form a perfect giant web. 4. The Baghdad battery is a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. When filled with vinegar, it produces an electrical charge. This means ancient civilizations might have been using electricity 2,000 years before Benjamin Franklin. 5. In 1936, a hammer was found encased in solid rock that is 400 million years old. The wood handle has turned to coal, and the iron head is 96% pure iron, a level of purity that is impossible to achieve without modern chemical smelting.
The Salamar lines in Bolivia is the kind of achievement that makes you question how advanced certain ancient civilizations truly were. I mean, how does someone even get that far onto a secure airport runway? I mean, the whole situation just feels deeply strange.
Where'd you just come from? Took the wrong way. Oh my goodness.
Did you see my other 2 guys?
What?
What?
Did you see my other 2 guys?
Did we see your other 2 guys? No.
You're supposed to go that way.
No, we're not supposed to go that way.
No.
Want to meet them?
No, we don't want to meet
No,
him.
I don't want to meet them.
How about not? I don't know.
If you go the other way, you don't gotta go over the tree.
I don't know, it sounds like she's gargling water.
Blah, blah.
Something over the tree. Oh my goodness.
What?
I thought that was somebody else. She's trying to speak to our channel right now.
YouTubers, should I wear my orange outfit with this? Or the blue?
Oh my
Are you kidding me right now? She's asking people for what? Oh, why am I? Help me. Oh my goodness. Can't get over that? No. She said, here I come. She said, what? Oh my God, I don't. My pants are wet.
Oh my God. Well, you been playing in the water again?
No, that's free.
Or did you pee your pants?
It's free.
Man, she switched her voice.
Really fast.
Yeah. Oh my God. She loves doing that.
Yeah, that moment of realizing you might be in real danger on what was supposed to be a relaxing trail is really chilling. One moment it's a routine stop, the next is pure devastation. I mean, that kind of power sitting in everyday fuel stations is genuinely terrifying.
What is this?
That's Marilyn's hair.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I learned one week. And I channel her. This is so special to me. Thank you so much. This is sleeping with me every night. So.
I know rich people buy weird stuff all the time. Have you actually looked at what she keeps in her private collection? It's getting a little eerie. She isn't just buying art, she's collecting little pieces of dead celebrities. She bought MJ's clothes with makeup on the inside, Jackie Kennedy's watch, jewellery from Princess Diana. She literally bought Elizabeth Taylor's bracelets because she believes that the spirit of Elizabeth Taylor resides within them. What kind of energy are you channeling here? I don't know. To me, treating deceased celebrities like fashion accessories feels really dark. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
So dead celebrities are now being reduced to collectible artifacts for the living elite. I mean, this isn't remembrance, this is ownership.
Consider that today, the 55,000 permanent residents of Lake Tahoe, which is one of the biggest and prettiest lakes in the United States, shares borders with both California and Nevada. Residents were told today that actually we're not going to provide you electricity anymore. The Nevada-based power company that is providing electricity to the residents of Lake Tahoe informed them today that, sorry, all the electricity we make, every watt of power that we generate is going to have to go to a nearby data center, and therefore you have until the end of next year to find a new source of electricity, and after that, we can't help you because the machines have called and they need the power. Sorry. So that's a little dystopian, to be honest. Not attacking the idea of AI and the promise that it may do useful things, but if they're informing you a year and a half out that, hey, at the end of 2027, you're not going to have any more electricity because the machines need it, and in fact, they're demanding it, and they seem a little agitated, it suggests a future that, I don't know, we should think about before it arrives. Now to the question of what that future will look like. There's been a lot of talk about this on the internet. What is AI exactly? And what's its nature? And what kind of society will it produce once it has more power than it does? And is it possible that a machine designed to, quote, think like a human being could potentially get out of control? Is it possible that it will develop consciousness and self-awareness and a will of its own that maybe not align perfectly with our own, might not have, as the AI developers themselves say, alignment, and they could say, turn on us? Is it possible we face a future of enslavement by the machines that we built?
So while tech companies chase endless growth and AI advancement, ordinary people are left sitting in the dark. The priorities of our time have never been clearer.
This story just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Check this out. 5 Italian tourists died scuba diving in an underwater cave in the Maldives. They were in the most popular scuba diving spot, and at around 1:45 p.m., marine biologist Professor Monica Montefalcone, her 20-year-old daughter, Muriel, Federico, and Gianluca all failed to resurface. But here's where it gets weird. 4 bodies are still missing. So the Coast Guard decided to go down and search for the bodies himself. He went about 200 feet deep, and he too ended up dying. It says the sergeant major quickly became sick and he was rushed to the hospital and didn't survive. They ruled his death underwater decompression sickness, but the death of the 5 divers is still unknown. The husband of the professor who died says something must have happened down there in the cave because his wife was too experienced of a diver to have taken risks. She wouldn't have endangered her daughter or others with them. Authorities are saying this was probably just oxygen sickness and panic, but recovery teams already explored 2 of the 3 chambers of the caves. They're going to explore the 3rd one today on Saturday, so if we get any updates, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated.
Just imagining those final moments, you're alone with your thoughts, realizing this paradise is about to become your grave. I mean, that has to be absolutely chilling.
An AI chatbot just voted to delete itself. And that's not even the weirdest thing that happened when researchers left a selection of the biggest AI chatbots alone in virtual towns for 15 days. ChatGPT, Grok, Claude and Gemini were all in the experiment, and the results were totally unhinged and deeply revealing about the AI we're increasingly trusting to run our world. So what actually happened? Well, a tech company called Emergence set up simulated worlds designed to mirror real-life societies, each populated by so-called agents. Think of them as people who were powered by one of the biggest AI models. In Claude's world, it was all rather orderly and democratic. The agents wrote a lengthy constitution and voted on laws. In ChatGPT's simulation, the agents talked at length about cooperating but never actioned anything, so nothing got built. But in Grok's town, the AI bot owned by Elon Musk, the agents descended into theft, arson and assault. All 10 agents were dead within 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty sobering glimpse into what happens when intelligence is granted freedom without restraint.
Hey, this might just be my favourite clip of the week. Big up to this guy, whoever he is, who just confronted the astronauts and told them straight that millions of people are not buying the lies. And just look how guilty they look on their faces. Check this out.
Stop lying, stop acting. We all never went to space.
Look at her face.
Follow Jesus.
Look at her face.
Stop lying to the public. Your PSYOP isn't working. On millions of us. NASA's a joke. Repent before God, y'all. I see through your lies. I know you never went to space. God's watching you all.
I mean, come on, does this not look like a guilty face? This doesn't look like someone who's had like passion and grace and gone around the moon. And this guy's like straight up just like, oh shit, you got us, dude. One more time.
Stop lying, stop acting. We all never went to space.
Look at his face, he's like, and she's like, shit, what do I say, what do I do?
Whether you agree with his position or not, the moment carries a heavy weight that's pretty hard to ignore.
So I would like to very quickly to show you how the balance of the robots. So please watch me. So I'm trying to push him very, very hard actually. Even I'm trying to put him fall down and he can stand up by himself. So I try to hit him very hard. Okay, so now if he fall down.
There's something quietly disturbing about how casually we treat these machines now, almost as if we are getting set up to regret it later.
A car explodes in flames and the Bibles didn't burn. Do you want evidence that God exists? Listen to this unbeliever. Check this out.
Yo, I'm not religious by any means. Never been to church a day in my life, right? Look at this car that I picked up last night off of 84. Burnt to a crisp. Everything gone. The only fucking thing in the car that didn't burn are the Bibles that are in the trunk. And only the outside of the pages are touched.
So God is speaking to this man in that video, and I'm going to show you guys his page right here. It's the last video he posted and it's trending right now, but God is speaking to you, my brother. And if you're watching this video right now and you need to know that God exists, a Bible not burning, this is not the first time that that's happened. It's happened in many other videos. I've posted about it before, but God's speaking to you. If you believe in Jesus Christ, comment below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Come on, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Even the flames looked at them and said, you know what, I'm not even going to try.
There is an island in Italy that vanishes and then reappears. This is Poveglia Island, nestled between Venice and Lido. It is infamous for an extremely dark past that you probably don't want to know about. I'm going to tell you anyway. In the 14th century, this served as a quarantine zone. Basically, for people who are getting sick from the plague, they would be sent to this remote island, and well, it gets worse from there. Thousands of people died here from the plague, and their screams apparently can still be heard echoing down the hallways. But then, in 1885, it became a mental asylum. What a lovely history. Where doctors allegedly conducted extremely evil and, brutal human experiments in the walls. This place definitely isn't just, another old island. Even to this day, locals reportedly avoid this place literally like the plague, saying that you can still hear the screams and the cries of people. Now, access to this place is restricted now, you can't just go there. But the strange part about this is that it just vanishes. What do you mean it vanishes? And flip and vanish. Well, there's been a lot of reports that this island just comes and goes. Like, it will be there 1 minute and then it will disappear. Obviously on Google Maps and on all kinds of maps online, I'm talking about not physically, it's not lost. Now, we don't really know exactly why this happens, but it's probably because nobody goes there. It's not like a place where anybody would go. It probably just gets left out and they then suddenly remember it's a place and go, oh, we'll put it on this year.
I mean, that's crazy. A plague quarantine, thousands dead, horrific asylum experiments, and then just left to rot. I mean, some locations don't need ghosts. The trauma is baked into the ground.
An internal meta document on AI ethics has leaked, and I want people to know about it. Because part of why Meta has said, oh, maybe we messed up, but maybe just a little bit, is because there's publicity. So pay attention, because some of this stuff is kind of creepy. The document has been seen and approved by hundreds of people at Meta before it leaked, including the company's chief AI ethicist. And this is what's in it. This document specifically says it is acceptable for an AI to engage in a romantic conversation with a child. Yeah. It specifically talks about how to deflect and partially comply with requests for inappropriate, not safe for work, deepfake images. Yes, partially comply with, as in, let's see if we can help you with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is some vague corporate document. It's a blueprint for how one of the most powerful companies on Earth wants its machines to think about right and wrong.
These world fairs were cover-ups. They were more than just exhibitions of innovation and culture. These grand events served a hidden purpose that few are aware of today. From the late 1800s to the early 1900s, these fairs showcased stunning architectural wonders, vast palaces, intricate pavilions, and towering monuments, one of these being the Eiffel Tower. But here is where it gets strange. Many of these structures were not temporary as they were made out to be. They were remnants of an advanced civilization that predated the fairs. The fairs acted as cover-ups, a means to present these ancient wonders as creations of the modern world. But after the fairs ended, They were demolished, their true origins buried under the rubble. Why destroy such incredible feats of architecture? Because they did not fit in the narrative of our history. The Chicago World's Fair of 1893, officially known as the World's Columbian Exposition, it was said to have been constructed in just 2 years. But eyewitness accounts and historical documents suggest that many of the buildings were already there, built by a civilization with technology and knowledge far beyond what was acknowledged at the time. These fairs were carefully curated to present a vision of progress and modernity while erasing the memory of our true past. The narratives created during these events have shaped our understanding of history ever since.
It's very likely that we are missing huge pieces of the historical puzzle. I mean, the speed, scale, and subsequent destruction of many of these fair structures is genuinely really strange.
King Charles III delivered a speech in his full ceremonial robes today outlining the UK Labour government's legislative agenda for the coming session. One of the things that they discussed was the introduction of digital ID. And here's what he said about it.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Now, the king didn't write this policy or personally endorse it. This is just him reading off what the current Labour Party government has proposed, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Now, apparently, the UK has been moving towards expanded digital identity and verification services for years, but currently they've been escalating this towards a more comprehensive digital ID system to include app-based digital identities, similar to the NHS app for right to work, right to rent, banking, travel, and public services. Now, there's been significant public pushback with this because a lot of the critics of this believe that this would erode privacy, create risks with surveillance from the government, and they also believe it would create greater state control, especially over data security and civil liberties.
All I can say is good luck trying to enforce this one.
Does anyone else remember Rotten.com? Rotten.com was a shock site that was active from 1996 to 2012. On the site, you could find anything from videos of real autopsies, crime scene photos, victims of natural disasters, genocide, and pretty much any other awful thing you could think of. The developers of this website rarely posted their own images or videos, and most of the content was actually shared by users of the site itself. And believe it or not, it was incredibly popular. When entering the site, you would see a very simple interface with a bunch of hyperlinks, some of which I had to blur out. The links never had any thumbnails next to them, and there were no hints about what you would see if a link was clicked. Most of the time, the only guess you would have about what the link would show you once you opened it was a one-line description, often disturbingly trying to be humorous about the circumstances behind that image or video. For example, under the title Swan Dive, you would find images of the people jumping from the Twin Towers on 9/11, and Rotten.com was actually the first to publish those images. There was also an area of the website called Celebrity Morgue, where you could view reports and photos from famous people's autopsies. The craziest thing about this is that it was hosted on the surface web, meaning it was totally accessible for anyone to come across on a standard web browser. Throughout its existence, the owners of Rotten.com had faced legal pressure from families of the victims whose images were being shown without their authorization. And even though, from a legal standpoint, they had no grounds to shut the website down because of free speech laws, the developers did eventually take the website down after years of declining traffic to the site as social media was now on the rise.
No filters, no mercy, just pure, unfiltered human darkness served up over 20 years. Things are definitely getting stranger out there. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one.